Conductivity. I mean, this is the concept that got almost everyone who achieved it killed. I got a list of four smart scientists whom I can confirm 100% got killed because of this same dangerous concept. I can show you from different sources how all these anti-gravity crafts, OTC X1, seal effect generator, Rubenko's platform, Victor Schauberg's device, and even the Graviflier, how they all operated under the same principles. The first platform that I'm going to touch on is the OTC X1. But let me give you a little bit of context on this platform because I don't think all my viewers still remember how it functioned. So, according to Ruffling, who was a partner of Autistic Car in this project, this is how everything looks inside the platform. The neutrons are positioned perfectly into the C-shaped electromagnets, and this is what leads to the phenomena of counter-rotation, which we will talk about the next few minutes. So, in supplying this platform, you gotta remember that we only supply the inner disk in this process, and then supply the outer part electromagnets. We don't supply the whole thing, it doesn't have the motor, except the inner disk. Now, this is the smartest part. In order to understand how the counter rotation is going to be produced, I want to give you a little bit of demonstration on how you can understand it. Suppose you have a thick aluminum plate and a strong magnet. Now, put the magnet on the table and move rapidly the aluminum plate so close to the magnet. What you will experience is that the magnet will try to move in the same direction as the aluminum plate. The same direction that you move the aluminum plate is the same direction that the magnet will try to move in. And this same phenomenon right here is exactly the same phenomenon that takes place in the OTC X1 platform. As you remember, the electromagnets are already turned on, and the neutrons, which are mounted on the inner rotating disk, are the thick aluminum neutrons. So when the inner disk rotates with the neutrons, according to the C-shaped electromagnets, they start rotation in a direction different from the inner rotating disk, which means if the inner disk is moving right, the neutrons will start to move left due to the C-shaped electromagnets. This is the interesting part. Then at a certain acceleration, due to the collapsing of the neutrons and the C-shaped electromagnets, the whole outer part of the platform will start moving slowly in the same direction as the neutrons. Then as the counter rotations occur, the neutrons will accelerate faster and faster. And this will cause the outer part electromagnets to also move at rapid speeds. Then when the outer part rotation reaches the inner disk rotation, as Ruffring reports, the craft will be activated by the energy of space. And now this is our best part. Since the platform is already activated, we are going to use our favorite concept of conductivity. Since we already got the surrounding areas and even inside the platform conductive, now we can choose to increase the power on the rotating electromagnets to invoke lift, or we can use another powerful electromagnetic fields on the central core of the platform by wrapping an electromagnetic coil around it. By controlling these electromagnetic fields in this fluid of electrostatic charges, this is the only way you can experience propulsion or the so-called anti-gravity effect. And you also gotta understand that you need to make the air so conductive that you can feel it. For example, when you move your hands around the platform. Even I myself experienced this same feeling when I was testing my Revit device. I felt a little push against the platform whenever I tried to move my hands close to the device. You gotta make the air so conductive that it feels like fluid. Then, at this very point, you can now adjust your electromagnetic fields inside this charged fluid. And this is how you will experience these anti gravity effects step by step. I mean, can you even imagine? This same concept of conductivity keeps coming back over and over in different innovations of different scientists at different times. Even John Seals said this himself. He said that his platform is propelled by air when conductivity switches. Conductivity, the same word keeps coming back. And even in some of his other documents, where him and his colleague John Charles saw their platform in the air for the first time, they saw a glow around it. The platform had a glow effect, which also demonstrated how much ionized the air around the platform was. When you also look at some incidents of some UFOs in the sky, they also produce some kind of glowing effects around them. when they were ready to move at fast speeds. Even for Viktor Grebennikov's platform, according to what Viktor Grebennikov himself reported, he said whenever he was flying on his platform in the air at high speeds, he never felt the wind blowing in his face because the same conductive air which formed a protective field against the wind was keeping himself. He said he only experienced wind when he removed his hand a little farther from the platform. But luckily for me, I got a small size platform, which I think is not yet at the level of causing body damage. Unlike Grebennikov, who got himself fully into these fields, I only put my hands above the platform. So this is exactly what I wanted to remind you guys. This concept of conductivity goes way deeper than people think. I mean, it amazes me how all these big scientists are more focused on the gyroscopes, free energy, and all this mathematical equation nonsense, and they miss the most important thing, which is proportion. This is crazy. The only thing that I can say, which I think is the most important thing of all, is that to anyone who got my schematics, please keep on experimenting. Because, I mean, I know for sure this is the best time that you can come up with an invention and it can take over. Because all these other scientists are more focused on other users' projects. So if you got the schematic right now, if you got the schematics, all the details, and all the informations that I provided you with, use them. And remember to reach out to me when you got problems and need more clarification on a thing or just want to show me the effects you got in your experiments. So this is it for today's video. Keep going with the experiments and learn from experiments. This is the right time to make this KDM Revity device project take over. Literally. I mean, people are more asleep these days, and most of them give up on this anti-gravity concept. So we gotta use that to our own advantages. We gotta be the first ones to get our platforms levitating in the air.